code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
And I'm world famous comedian Grant Los Mooncia. You can check out my hit Grant Mooney special, Grant Mooney comedy TV show called Mind of Mooncia on 8:30 p.m. today, right now, actually.
What channel?
I said Grant Mooney special.
MeTV.
Grant Mooney comedy. Comedy Central, but my name. Fuck.
What? Wait, hold on. I get the joke here. It's supposed to be
Central.
parallel. It's supposed to be a parallel to Carlos Mencia, but the Comedy Central is not named after Carlos Mencia, but you're naming the Comedy Central channel after you, as well as the Carlos Mencia parody character.
Hey, Kevin, you know what you sound like right now? In
What's
my
that?
ears, you know what you sound like? You sound like you're saying, G.
Jesus.
I like that you did change that up. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it's just barely less offensive, too. Anyway, let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last week, Nico. Yo. Thank you, Nico. And we got a returning champion to the show this week. That's right, everybody. Get down in your seats. Get your popcorn and put your headphones on a little tighter because we've got Brandon Kirkman back on the show.
Big dog. Brandon Kirkman. Get ready to woof, woof, woof.
Brandon, is the big dog of Big Dog's Clothing your fursona?
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely upset at the direction Big Dog t-shirts has taken because it feels like my subconscious has fractured off and started creating their t-shirts and I'm not getting any money for it. And it's upset. Have you guys been following the Instagram for Big Dogs lately?
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
I was pretty upset when they posted All Dogs Matter. Was pretty offensive to me.
All dogs do matter, though, if you think about it.
All lives go to heaven.
All lives go to heaven. I love, you know what? The reason we're in the state this entire country is right now is that we all saw All Dogs Go to Heaven as a kid, and the own freaking title you're lied to because it goes straight to hell in the movie. It's what truth is there in this corrupt nation of ours?
Well, it's all
I
part of
don't
the
remember
hero's
the movie.
journey, you know?
Yeah.
Of course.
It's just like Campbell said, yeah.
The backflip.
It's like in Star Wars.
C3PO, C4PO.
You guys seen Frozen? It's pretty bad.
Ah, Miss Piggy. It just turns into Kermit after a little bit.
So, Brandon, you're a producer for Machine Culture. You're a podcaster in your own right, and you are a stand-up comedian in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to touch on that a little bit because we had Aaron Klopfer on the show a month or two ago, and obviously during the quarantine, during this pandemic, during these, dare I say, unprecedented times.
Whoa.
It's a little bit
Unprecedented times, if you're gonna ask me.
Oh!
Guy at the White House.
Did you just make that up just now?
Yeah, I kind of like, guys, sometimes I'm kind of like a riff king, and I have to like brag, but like put a little king hat on me and then say riff away and like, bow wow, baby.
Hey, Brandon, you drop this, and it's a crown.
Thanks, King. You also dropped this. Guys, we got double kings.
I don't know. I don't think that's how it works, but I will gladly take it.
What are you guys, cheating at poker?
Yeah. Also, if you've never
right.
seen the animation Double King, you should actually YouTube that right now.
Is that like a lemon party thing?
No, it's actually a really dope animation. Like, no joke. It's legitimately one of the best like short films ever made for animation.
Okay.
Is it some anime shit?
It's not anime, but it's like a British or Australian guy, so it basically is one level below anime.
All right.
That's true.
I can deal with that.
Australia's due south, so
Yeah.
anyway, Brandon, you've been keeping stand-up comedy alive during these times you've been hosting a virtual open mic on Twitch as well as a movie club.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I've been really enjoying that. We have a little Discord that's more for like personal friends where we do like a Jackbox and movies. And then I have one I do for when I was hosting the Pressure open mic in the lovely Pressure Billiards of Chicago. We stream every Tuesday. 5 to 8 people show up. So it's like running a real open mic still. And the rest is magic. So, everything's good. Everything's going very well.
It's obviously it's very strange to be pursuing anything in this field, especially if it's live entertainment, because that's not happening.
Nah.
So we miss doing live shows and stuff too, and we're kind of just plugging away, doing the regular thing until we can get back on our feet again. And I think it's good muscle memory. And I think that what you're doing is also a great idea too. I've been on there a few times. It's been a while.
It was really entertaining. We have like people that will kind of like come and go because it's been 3 months since we started doing it. So it's kind of like an open mic. It's like whoever can get the time or has stuff they want to work on. The fun format too is we play a bad movie in the background so that there's not like absolute silence when you're listening as an audience member. And that's been really fun. So,
have you had anybody from outside of Chicago jump on there?
Yeah, we've actually a few friends who moved off to like LA or New York, like Drew Brown's jumped on. Steve Malloy's been in the audience a few times. He's a good New York comedian. And then some suburb people too, but they're usually pretty weird. So
yeah, it's true.
And
all the big cities stopping by, doing some jokes and bits.
Do you feel like this will be something that sticks around when we get over this, if we get over this?
I don't think it will unless there's really big ones that kind of keep going because they had a really good format to stick with. I know the Drop, which is a famous kind of Indiana comedy club, has had a really successful one, as well as the actual Comedy Store and a few other, not the Comedy Store, maybe it's that one. But one of the big LA clubs also has a pretty strong open mic they've been doing streaming. So it'd be kind of a good format to keep. But also I get it when people can go back to doing live comedy back in about like 2023. And we finally had the vaccine and there's only 5 Americans left alive.
Oh, God.
And they're the funniest 5 Americans.
Oh, those five fuckers,
planet.
dude, they are busting a gut. Oh my goodness.
So in the world of podcasting, because, it can all be live comedy and it's good to have something like this in the what's happening right now. So you are hosting, is it 2 podcasts right now?
I'm a part of one, but the main runner of that would be, I would say, Hobart Thompson and then Spencer Blair. They run a podcast that's a live play D&D podcast set in an office world. So like all the goblins are like interns and your boss is like a freaking troll.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's really disgusting, but it's really fun and has had a pretty big successful run, especially during the pandemic, called Desks and Dayjobs. So check that out if you like D&D or live play RPG games. And then, of course, do Podzooky, which I describe as a bad podcast that I enjoy doing. So
we got some love for Desks and Dayjobs in the chat here.
Yeah,
and,
it is legitimately a good live play podcast. Like if I was not doing it and I stumbled across it, I would probably be listening to it. Just because the DM we have right now, Hobart Thompson's really good at it. And then all the players who've been in it, so like myself, Liz Getty, Spencer Blair, and Gwen Hope, they're all pretty good experienced D&D players. So we get into it, but we have fun. It's
the name of the game.
Yeah, baby.
And you mentioned Podzooky. Now that's a show that Grant and I have been on before.
Yeah, we just had Nico on it as well, and we talked about Jurassic Park. It's we just watched a big monster movie, And then we've just made so many cum and fart jokes over the years that we've decided to just call it a passion project. But hey, we have a few people listen and like it, so...
Yeah, it's a good time. God, I forget the movie we watched. It was Taran the Unbelievable or something like that.
Varan the Unbelievable. It was really boring. It's one of the most boring films we've watched. I'm sorry for that yet again.
Yeah, we spiced it up, you know?
Yeah, we did. We had fun. We had bits.
And we watched My Name is Dolomite, which was
legitimately
great.
a good
It was
movie.
fantastic.
Yeah,
it was genuinely good. I enjoyed it very much.
A pretty loose definition of the kaiju genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will watch any movie. I should say, especially in this climate, this is not considered a monster movie about Dolomite.
Right.
It's I do love both Eddie Murphy and Dolomite. So if you've never seen a Dolomite film, do yourself a flavor.
Speaking of doing favors for ourselves, we got a bit of show news of our own. I'm going to say it. I'm tired of hiding this. We still have a theme song cover competition. And Grant, have any submissions come through for that yet?
No, not a single one. No, not
People
not
come
a
on
single
the
one
show.
in 3 months.
People come on the show and they're like, "Oh, that sounds fun. I'll do one." Listen,
Yeah.
it can't be that hard.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to say I have no experience in music.
I wrote the theme song. It wasn't that hard. I just took a different song that I had already written, and I was just like, this is Thought Cop's theme song now. You just do the same. You just take my song and go, this is the cover of the same song. You could just take the song and pitch it down and send it back to us, and we'd probably play it. That's how desperate we are.
Make it sound like elevator music, sort of 2014 era vaporwave.
Oh, yeah. Or do the classic setting into G chord. That's always fun.
It's that easy, folks.
Yeah.
You just sing into a
moving
microphone.
right along to...
Yeah, maybe I will do that. That is really fun. Just my awful voice recreating the theme.
That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Moving right along, though, to a very famous, very favorite, very fun and segment of the show. I got it, Grant. I found the perfect third word. 2 minutes of hate.
Wait, what was it?
We
I
like
was
to
sort of
punish all
not paying
these...
attention.
Oh, that's great. It was frustrating.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
Or no, should I say fun instead? I don't want to get the audience mood down.
We'll change it in post.
Zwick, make it say fun. I'm going to assume there's going to be something funny there. Anyway, 2 minutes of hate. We like to blanket punish these annoying online trends we see every day scrolling the apps. Brandon, you know the apps, right?
Oh, man, I'm on them every day. I'm on their fucking Friendster. I'm on Club Penguin. I'm on
Hell yeah.
Neopets.
Is that right?
That's it. That's all I can think of.
So my 2 minutes of hate this week is memes that eventually fuck each other. That's right. Memes that eventually fuck each other. There's a certain timeline that happens with every meme where eventually there is what you could only describe as an epic crossover. And eventually they link up and have sex, more or less. So there is a meme that it's the dad from Incredibles and the dad from Coraline, and they're typing on the computer looking depressed. Have you guys seen this one?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
So they'll eventually they kind of put them together and they're talking to each other on the computer, whatever. I don't know. And now there's fan art of them hanging out and laughing and they're on the computer together. And they're going to fuck.
Hell yeah.
And it only annoys me because it's just so predictable, It's you have a clash of context and it's Twitter just is yeah, they're going to fuck. There's no romantic tension. There's no build up. It's just, a meme comes out on Monday. Thursday, they're fucking.
That is the timeline. That's exactly the timeline.
Yeah, that's I think what the song "Friday I'm in Love" by The Cure is about. Actually,
it is. Yes. They should change it. So my punishment here, Grant, can you spin that? You're by the wheel, right?
Yeah, I got the wheel here.
Can you spin it for me?
I can spin it.
Zwick, cut the silence.
Put more silence in, Zwick.
Zwick, add extra silence.
Add 3 minutes of silence.
All right, here comes the wheel. Minecraft.
Okay.
I think those characters go into Minecraft, and then someone that makes a meme of them fucking has to fuck those characters.
Yes.
Which could either solve the problem or make it way worse.
Sort of like a modern Twilight Zone where the Rule 34 comes to life.
Yeah, in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yes.
Yeah.
Brandon, what you have for us? What's bugging you, man?
Oh man, I'm so glad you guys asked me. Listen, you're in a podcast about the internet. How do you guys feel about cancel culture?
Oh boy,
I think we gotta cancel it.
Well, good news. You should have signed a letter that Harper put out recently about.
Is that Harper's Magazine?
It's Harper's Magazine, a magazine for old, out-of-touch white people with immense privilege, and it is.
That's every magazine.
Yeah, it is. Except for Jacobin. I said Jacobin.
Fair.
I want to say Jacobin. I know it's Jacobian, but I just want to say Jacobin so hard every time I see that stupid word.
I think it's Jacobin.
Yeah.
It's Jacobian, isn't it?
I don't. Jacobin.
Yeah. Should be freaking Jacki.
I think if it was Jacobian, it'd be Jacobien. But it's
listen. We could go on about this for the next 45 minutes,
and we will. So let's start with the origins of the letter J. No, so Harper's Magazine, stupid magazine no one reads anymore, put out a letter on justice and open debate that J.K. Rowling put out with a bunch of people who used to be good but aren't anymore, like Noam Chomsky. And sadly, Margaret Atwood signed it. She's still pretty cool, but then she instantly regretted it. But basically, it's to tell people to stop picking on them because they want to hate trans people. So it's really cool. A lot of it's been going around online, but the whole letter is an open letter telling people that there should be free and open debate and that there should be a toleration of different views when it's literally just a bunch of older privileged people who don't want to be called shitty for having shitty views online.
Well, Noam Chomsky's like 90,000 years old at this point, so you can't yell at him. But he was standing up for a lot of that shit. Like he was, as a older Jewish man, was standing up against, was standing up for people that were Holocaust deniers to get the universities that they worked for not to fire them. So he has a pretty in-depth history of like standing up against this type of stuff. But if you want to throw J.K. Rowling further under the bus, I'm cool with that.
Oh, yeah, I'd throw as hard as I could right now. Malcolm Gladwell's on it, too. Everyone's favorite Lolita Island Express member. Dude, how many people do you think he like took advantage of when he was there? Like, what's double digits, triple digits? Like
Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we need to look at the outliers of who he took advantage of, I think is
Hillary. What if I just got really deep into like conspiracy theories the last time we talked and it just went downhill after that? But yeah, basically this whole letter was made because J.K. Rowling's upset that everyone is blocking her and telling her to stop having very bad views on trans people not being people, basically. And she's just become so out of touch that she decided to have all of her writer buddies sign this letter with her saying, like, quit being mean to me online, which just makes everyone online want to be mean to you then, which is great. They've already almost fulfilled their own punishment by putting this letter out. So I don't know. I would say
true.
If we went straight to punishment, I would just say, let this happen how it's happened and continue to unfold right now.
Hey guys, I got an addendum to that. We should sign our own petition in an even better magazine called Mad Magazine.
Dude, that stuff is both sick and freaking twisted.
And when you put the petition list together, like, you know how you got to fold the pages in to make a new image?
Yeah.
It's a big penis.
And what if the title for it was like made out of like boogers?
Oh, that's a given.
It's pretty cool.
What me worry about cancel culture?
What, me too?
And then it's a picture of Pete Buttigieg.
Why has no one done that yet?
Maybe they have, and we just don't know.
Maybe Cracked Magazine did it first, and they just feel like fools trying to do it now.
Yeah.
God, I want to see Jeffrey Epstein drawn in Alfred E. Newman Mad Magazine style with like, what, me too?
It's so good.
Oh, man.
Man. So yeah, my punishment's just letting this happen exactly how it's gone out and kind of formed itself now so that every nerd on it, it's like both the left and the right are coming together to hate on J.K. Rowling, and it's kind of beautiful in that way.
I love the idea, though, that like there could be some conservatives out there that like are now voraciously reading Harry Potter like it's good now because J.K. Rowling like is against trans people or whatever. Which, by the way, like she's already written her fucking books and she's making a shit ton of money off of them. And I know she like donated some of it or whatever the fuck. But like you can't cancel J.K. Rowling. Like she's not like you can't fire her from having written all of those books decades ago. Like, what's being canceled? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's the common thing of like just putting a Band-Aid over a larger discussion, and it's just like saying she's canceled when it doesn't mean anything. But on top of that, why is anyone taking her opinion seriously when she went out of her way a few months back to talk about how wizards would zap their turds out of the bathroom before they invented toilets? Like this,
that rules.
This
Why
is
should
not
it
a
be so
person.
bad?
This is not a person's opinion you need to trust in any way or form. And the thing that's the most wild thing is that she keeps bringing up the trans argument when no one's asking her. Like literally, will just tweet like, "Hey, did you know why I hate trans people?" And like, no, we don't want to. No one wants to know.
That's like the guy that made the IT crowd who just like. That's the only thing he talks about online, and it's like, man, I guess
he's off Twitter now.
Yeah, he was banned, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah,
he got canceled.
Yeah, Graham Linehan. Graham got banned. It's just. He also had the worst Twitter icon, where it was like a cartoon version of him that looked like almost like what's the name of that guy who did Lake Woebegone that also got canceled? He had like stupid glasses.
I don't know. I just remember him smoking that pipe.
Yeah, stupid fucking pipe. It's full of turds. Smoking a big turd in a pipe.
Grant, what do you got for us?
My 2 minutes of hate this week is people who make videos of themselves or their friends smoking a really big weed. They take a very big weed and they smoke it and they make a video out of it. And I guess you're supposed to go, oh, I wish I was smoking a big a weed.
Dude, weed culture fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's like I thought we might be a little bit more free from it when it became more legal, and a lot of the states, ours included. But it's like it's only ramped up people being stupid about it, and I don't need to hear about it.
Yeah, I thought we'd be seeing less dirty ponchos and just more normalization, but not so much. Like I don't really smoke as much anymore, but I used to with I guess some regularity, and I received compliments from friends who didn't smoke being like, hey, you're one of the good ones. And they're like you don't sit there and go like, dude, I am so high.
That is the worst. And that's bad for any drug, any substance, anyone who I'm so drunk. It's like, yeah, we all are. Shut up.
Yeah, like I've gotten some nice edibles from a past guest of yours that I think you guys know who is exactly.
We all know.
Oh, yeah. I've had a few times to like go through the day and enjoy myself. And at no point did I ever feel like, man, I got to get online and tell people how freaking shredded I'm getting from this weed gummy right now. People got to know. It's like just having a good time, relaxing, reading a book, you know?
Right. I mean, I do. He is very good at making those, and they are fantastic. But yeah, I mean, like, because there'll be TikTok videos or YouTube videos of someone who makes a bong out of like one of those 5-gallon water jugs or something, and it's just like an impossible amount for any human being to smoke. Or Firecloud, aka Granddad, this is what set me off, sent me a video on Instagram of someone who like rigged a laundry, like a dryer he filled it with weed and then lit the weed on fire with a blowtorch, and then 2 women were sitting on top of the dryer like smoking it out of the dryer vent. And it's like, what is the why what's the point of this? Or I've seen ones where someone takes a what do you call it, like a leaf blower, and puts like a bunch of weed in a leaf blower and lights it on fire with a torch, and then just like fumigates an entire room, which I don't even understand how that's safe to do.
The more you describe this, the more I'm getting on their side, actually. This sounds really cool.
It's the most obnoxious thing. It's just like, wow, yeah, no, you must be really high. Wow. oh man, if I was in your head feeling how you're feeling, not being able to inhale, I guess, or
It's show-offy. That's my problem.
Yeah, it's showy-offy.
The showy-offy, and then weed and alcohol feel like very similar drugs where, like, it's fun to get buzzed and it's fun to get high, but, like, if you get too high or too drunk, it's just an awful time and experience every time. Like,
yeah.
There's no good gain. Just got to have a good little balance to it and have a good day. Get online and play a video game, maybe like a Worms Armageddon. Just take it easy, man.
Yeah, and similarly, since you brought up alcohol, there's I feel like, especially due to quarantine, maybe there was a plethora of videos where someone would take like an entire bottle of liquor and be like, "Oh, looks like I'm drinking on Monday," and then drink the entire bottle, like a full bottle of fucking vodka or something like that. Just slam it down in one chug, and like it's some sort of a joke or something, and it's like that's horrendously disgusting. That is the grossest fucking thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I feel like my reaction is like if you ever saw Party Down when like Kim Norino's character just downs a whole bottle of liquor and just screams afterwards. That's how I feel watching it. Yeah, it's gross.
So Grant, what's your punishment?
Oh, I got a great punishment actually. And this comes to me because we bunch of us watched Good Time on July 4th, and you remember there's that bottle of Sprite that's just like filled with LSD, and the guy just like pours a giant glug into the security guard's mouth. You have to drink that entire bottle of LSD, and it just ruins your brain. Like you never come back from that. You're just lost forever.
Forget how to speak.
Yeah, you start speaking like your first language you ever spoke. No more English for you. You go back to whatever the fuck he was speaking in that movie. You remember it like he forgot his...
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying like you can't even speak anymore. You're done.
Yeah, you're just stuck in your mind forever.
Talk about cancel culture.
Everything looks like Roblox after that. That's it.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking pay the premiums if you want to get those cool ass skins to play with middle schoolers. You're just done.
You're stuck in Minecraft, baby. You can kill anybody you want now.
On that note, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outraging news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often unusual punishment. So you've heard of the RICO Act. Now, there's the CAREN Act.
Oh, yeah?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, no. When the saxophone comes in, that's the best part of that song.
I agree.
I took my sunglasses off, but you guys didn't hear.
Yeah.
Is that the same? No, that's not the same.
Yeah, that's a special victims unit, I want to say.
Same thing.
Do, 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 do.
We should play the Bad Boys theme again.
So a San Francisco lawmaker introduced the CAREN Act, which is to deter false, racially biased 911 calls. So, of course, we've seen a lot of these viral videos in the last couple months of Karens, which is typically purported to be white women calling the police on black men for doing things like drawing with chalk or walking a dog or
well, the walking the dog story was the woman was walking her dog off the leash and then called the police on a black man who was like, "Hey, put your dog on a leash." So
right,
yeah.
So the CAREN Act. Okay, I didn't know this. It's actually an acronym. This is CAREN with a C. The CAREN Act, or the Caution Against Racially Exploitative Non-Emergencies Act, was introduced by San Francisco Supervisor Shaman Walton. Is a reference to Karen with a K, which has become a generic name to describe entitled or racist white women. Mm-hmm. So making a false report is already a crime, but the bill would amend the San Francisco Police Code to make it unlawful for someone to fabricate a report based on someone's race, ethnicity, religious affiliation, gender, or sexual orientation.
All right, a couple things with this. One,
finally, we can do something to stop the police being racist. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
We did it, guys. Woo!
We did it, Reddit. Like, would this have stopped Breonna Taylor from getting killed? Like,
I'm going to say no.
No.
I'm also going to say no. Like, yeah, you shouldn't call 911 on people for being of a different race than you, but also like that's not the issue. The issue is that 911 comes and kicks down the door and shoots you when you're fucking asleep. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm too fucking angry already.
Yeah.
This is racist against upper class white women, by the way. I can't believe that they named it Karen.
Yeah, our most vulnerable members.
Man, I wish we could be racist against them. Every day, just sitting down thinking about it. It is so stupid. It's the usual thing of like putting a band-aid on the bigger situation, like I was talking about earlier, of like when we fucking paint a Black Lives Matter mural on a street instead of like actual putting in law and
right in front of Trump's building.
Yeah, it's like great. You put a law into place to say, hey, white women, stop being so white on people, but it's not going to do anything in the long run. It's just defund the police already.
It's not going to stop the over policing of certain neighborhoods. It's not going to stop these like negative interactions from happening. It's not going to stop what do you call it, like police immunity, where they can just get away with killing people. Like, it does nothing to systemically change anything that anybody's talking about. It's blaming the wrong people. Yeah, it's a band-aid for a fucking wider spread issue where you can point your finger at individuals and say you did this while still letting the fucking entire police system get off scot-free.
Yeah. It is always weird when we make a law that's trying to put more blame on the citizens when we already have an entire police force being run like the mafia. Like, who's that working for? Like, right. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
I mean, you have to admit it is funny, the name.
Yeah.
They were just
the name is funny.
They were just trying to get some clout.
Yeah.
Trying to get followers on their TikToks, so they named it something funny.
Oh man, TikTok. There's a whole can of worms right there, guys. Oh boy. Yeah.
So why San Francisco? Is it like a hotbed for this happening?
I mean, knowing the layout of the land and San Francisco and its diversity, I would say it actually does kind of make sense for that area.
It makes sense in my head, but I can't exactly explain why. I've only been to San Francisco once, and it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have too much more to add than that. That's my insight.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I would think we should make a law that protects us from Draculas.
Yes, the Drac Act.
There's not one law in place, and we're supposed to feel safe as citizens? I've seen Blade 1, Blade 2, and Blade 3.
That's what I'm saying!
Yeah, and listen, you only get one Blade, but how many Draculas are in there? There's at least 20 to 30 Draculas living in America at any point, so...
I mean, and God knows they could wake up from their slumber.
Yeah, oh boy. I mean, I guess we have, like, daylight. That's a good prevention. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah, half the day, and then what?
Daylight kills COVID and Draculas.
Thank you. Oh, man. And also, police officers do become more powerful at night, so we are doubly fucked. This is no good, man.
Okay, so here we go. Demilitarize the police and arm them with garlic.
With garlic. And make it where only one Dracula can be in America at a time.
That would be funny if we take away their guns and we give them the green squirt guns and they have holy water in them. And then we, instead of a pair of handcuffs, they have a pair of garlic bulbs.
I was going to go with rosary.
They can also have a rosary. Mm-hmm. Instead of the nightstick, they have a big cross.
Does a rosary do anything against a Dracula? I've never really thought about that.
They're afraid of it.
You have to assume.
Yeah. That would be such bullshit if you fucking use a crucifix and it's like all cowering and getting burned by it, but you put a rosary and it just doesn't do anything.
I mean, they're just throwing whatever they got at the problem, you know?
Yeah. Man, that's America right there, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Grant, what do you want to get to next?
Speaking of America, I want to read. This is one of the best. This is one of the best headlines I've seen in a while. And it's so typical that, like, you see it and you're like, yeah, of course this exists. Like, it's almost so cliche that you're like, there's no way that this could possibly exist. But it exists, and you're like, yeah, of course it'd exist. You know what I'm saying? So it's from The Guardian. This is by Leslie Kern, author of the new book Feminist City. She writes this article headlined, Upward Thrusting Buildings Ejaculating into the Sky. Do cities have to be so sexist?
Whoa. You're telling me this article wasn't written by Beavis and Butthead?
Wait, you're telling me they're giving away cum for free? Not on my watch, buddy.
I mean, so if y'all know, the CNA building in downtown Chicago, the windows didn't perfectly fit like the frame, and I think in the late 90s, one of the windows fell off and like killed a woman and her daughter. So that's sort of like ejaculation.
Yeah.
And it's not very feminist. Yeah.
I mean, they do call ejaculation and essentially an orgasm the little death in French, so that was a very big death.
That's true.
I feel bad about that now.
Le petit mort.
Sorry, lady. I'm sorry about the window.
We got Nico in the chat asking for some pussy buildings. Concave.
Ionic buildings now.
You know, there is, going back to Chicago, since we're all here, there is one of the buildings, like the diamond-shaped top building?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
It was shaped like that by a female architect who was like, oh, the skyline needs to look more vaginal. So
there's a slit in the center of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, when are we going to get that giant hot dog on the lake where they're like squirting a mustard hose on it? I keep seeing that poster.
And all of like,
I love that poster.
Yeah. Is it very phallic? Of course, but it's also a giant hot dog, and finally we can feed the poor. So it's like
delicious. Yeah, it's like James and the Giant Peach Chicago style.
Well, I just love like any like Euro or hot dog place you go into in Chicago where they serve you food in this styrofoam box. There's always one of those posters on the wall, and it's always like been faded by like 30 years of sunlight.
Yeah. I just realized this is a very local Chicago reference, so this is going to be very confusing for a lot of listeners, but it's a giant poster of a hot dog on our lake getting squirted with mustard. It's like as big as the Sears Tower. So
any sort of greasy fast food like local establishment is going to have this on its wall.
I assume like maybe if it's like New York, maybe they have their own version from like the 80s and 90s where it's like a giant pizza being draped over like, I don't know, the Brooklyn skyline or something.
Probably steal more of our shit.
Yeah. Pieces of shit. Just terrible.
I found the poster here. I'm putting it in podcast chat.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Listeners at home, let us know what you think.
IoNetrunner in the chat linked to an article that's 6 buildings that look like vaginas. One of them is that soccer stadium that they built in. Was that in the UAE or it was for one of the World Cups? Oh, Qatar.
Every football stadium's a big pussy.
Yeah, if you think about it, what else is very vagina shaped and ionic in form? I mean, maybe they should just put more big holes in the grounds in cities.
Yeah, but that's being underground is depressing.
Hey, Brandon, can I bring a show to a screeching halt for a second?
Yeah,
go for it.
Brandon, did you say Yannick or Laurel?
Oh boy!
Oh god!
Oh man, fucking hate this.
It's been a good 29 years, everybody, but I'm gonna go kill myself now.
I don't own a gun, but somehow I have 2 Glocks in my hand. I'm putting them in my mouth right now.
I'm sitting pretty.
I feel good about my crimes. Oh, man.
So, yeah, buildings. Too sexy? Let's find out tonight at 6.
More holes in ground.
I think that's an appropriate solution because that's always that's every like sci-fi movie. They always like take the poor people and just like dig a hole in the ground and just like shove everybody in there. That's where the what do you call them? Like the chuds. That's where chud came from. Something underground dweller.
The cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Yeah, so you got that. You got troglodytes. That's where troglodytes live in just holes in the ground. I mean, they're trying to get us to start eating bugs, and they're just going to stick us into the ground. So I say we all go underground and we all start eating bugs. All the rich people get their fucking phallus buildings that they want.
Yeah, rich people really do like bad art and think it's shaped like dick. Like they just constantly are the exact stereotype we imagine them to be.
Could you imagine? So there's been like if you go to the Wikipedia article for the Sears Tower, there's been like 3 or 4 people that have climbed the Sears Tower throughout history. Could you imagine someone climbing the vagina building just like to lick the top of it?
Yeah, buddy, that'd be freaking me. I want to get in that hole.
I mean, I don't think the guys climbing the Sears Tower pretending they're climbing a dick.
Maybe.
I hope they do. That's a good way to make your job way more fun. Like one of the side window veins, you're like, look, it's like a vein on a cock. Let's wash it. And then like they just start doing their job, having a good time with the boys.
It's all these construction guys, you know, the guys sitting on the steel beams, their steel lunchboxes, catcalling, like, hey, let's turn this thing into a big penis.
Hey, I'm jerking here. And they're just like fucking trying to jerk off a building.
And it ejaculates
and that's the name
into
of the game.
sky.
Ooh, let's put some big balls on it. This is fun. Oh, man.
So we got another band changing their name this week.
Oh, no.
Lady Antebellum changed their name to Lady A, and they sued a blues singer named Lady A.
Right.
This sounds, I on its face, this sounds incredibly counterproductive.
Yeah.
It is.
Didn't she have the name like 20 years before them or something too?
She had the name, but she didn't have the trademark, and I guess that they trademarked Lady A in like 2010 or 2011. And there was no contest to it. And then I guess now they're like, oh, well, we're going to change the name because Lady Antebellum kind of sounds bad. You know, everyone's changing names and firing voice actors, or voice actors are quitting. You know, and you got all these things that are happening. We're painting Black Lives Matter on sidewalks and stuff. And Lady Antebellum goes, oh, this doesn't sound great. We're going to change the name. And I guess that the blues singer was fine with it. And then I guess that they got into negotiations, and then now neither party is fine with each other. But it's pretty bad on face level, and it's pretty bad when you get into the details of it.
Yeah, I think the solution, if I'm not like jumping too far ahead here, is just like their name actually is now just Lady Asshole. Like, just simple as that.
That's a band I'd fuck with it.
So apparently there's a movie coming out next month. That's not going to happen. Called Antebellum.
Oh, cool.
I mean, what is it about? Anything we're talking about?
I don't know. I googled
that's...
Antebellum, and that was what came up.
Looks like it's a horror movie, so let's see real quick. Okay, it's an upcoming American horror film written and directed by Gerald Bush and Christopher Renz. The film stars Janelle Monáe. Oh, hey, Janelle Monáe. Mark Richardson, Eric Lang, Jack Hudson. Successor author Veronica Henley finds herself trapped in a nightmarish reality which reproduces anarchist social structures and must find a way to break free.
Enough with the fucking anarchist shit. It means no laws. That's not what anarchy means. As a self-identified anarchist, I refuse to accept these definitions that people are thrusting upon us.
Yeah, it's more like banana anarchy, if you ask me.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, cancel this guy.
Just try to freaking stop me. Go through all my tweets.
Oh, no. He's too good.
Yeah. It's one of those things of like, why do we need... It's like that one movie they're putting out, I think they already canceled, where it's like, what if black people were actually the slave owners and white people were the slaves? What is this movie for? Who is it for? Why do we need this now? And go fuck yourselves. Like, it's just...
Was that what the Game of Thrones guys, is that the show that they were going to make? Is that... No,
because America's so cool, there was going to be a show called The Confederacy that they were working on that got canceled, but then somebody decided to do a movie. And let's find out what the title is. I'm going to Google it real quick and figure it out.
Because I know there's that one show that's like, oh, if the Nazis had won, sort of thing. And
yeah, Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, and so there seems to be this sort of zeitgeist of like, well, what if the bad guys won? What would it look like? And it's just like, I don't know, it'd be bad.
Yeah, the show that was coming out is called Kraka, so no thanks. Hey, this is crazy, but the showrunner and director for it's a white guy from Boston. Wow.
Oh no.
Who would have guessed? Oh man, it's what fun times we live in. So, yeah.
So is the punishment just calling him Lady Asshole?
Yeah, lady asshole.
Hell yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, if we're going to talk about asshole, just cut out there, episode done, put in the outro.
No outro.
Speaking of asshole, which is a word, you guys played Scrabble lately?
Yeah, actually I have. Me and Barbara have been playing Scrabble and Upwards pretty often.
Oh, yeah? Well, here's some bad news for you, Brandon. Scrabble just banned 236 bigoted words from their official list. How do you feel about that?
I'm fucking flipping my board over right now that had the N-word used 5 times. Fucking triple word score.
Now, this is a real hard mode for you.
Yeah. I mean, all I know is, like, racial slurs. How am I going to win at Scrabble now?
I mean, they're worth a ton of points, so...
Yeah. Has anyone ever played Scrabble and put down a racial epithet before?
I don't think I have.
Epithet isn't that funny.
I mean, that was the original heated gamer moment.
That is actually true.
I mean, like, I feel like if you're amongst friends, isn't it always a race to see, like, who can put down, like, the dirtiest shit? Like, oh, I put the word penis down. Everybody look at me. Isn't that funny?
My friends are mature, so...
yeah, bullshit.
Sorry.
I'm calling bullshit. Everybody does
sorry.
it.
I don't work for Cards Against Humanity. I'm busy getting myself canceled at the same time.
I said penis, not the word black people. That's not what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
That's one of the cards, and Cards Against Humanity is just black people.
Yeah, and there's that whole article, too, they had where they had, like, one black writer, and they would basically put all the racist shit on him. So, like, is it okay if we do this? And he's like, okay, well, time for me to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
So, not good.
I was, long time ago, I was playing Cards Against Humanity with a group of people, and one guy drew the black people card, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And then he just, like, ripped it up, and it was somebody else's game.
Dude, that guy freaking rules. Like, no joke. What a good move.
It was. It, like, you know, back then I was like, oh, that's someone else's, like, property. And then later on I was like, that was pretty baller.
I like that you've gone from the phase that so many Americans have had the problem of dealing with the whole Black Lives Matter of, like, oh no, property first, people second.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Just like... wow.
Man, silly times we live in. Wacky, silly, funny times.
I'll say...
What are we talking about? Oh, Scrabble. Oh, and then this is from the New York Post, the greatest publication right behind Harper's. The first line of this article is Scrabble just got WOKE.
What's that spell?
Wookie.
Sex cauldron? Yeah. I hate the New York Post so much because it is... I see people post all the time where it's literally just a publication made for having the most, like, eye-irritating headlines. And even if they have a good point, you can find it somewhere else.
It's, I think one of my favorite things that Jeremy Kaplowitz, like, one of his ventures that he made is the New York Shit Post. But it's almost like you don't even need to change it. You could just... like repost their work and it's already in the New York Shit Post. It's that
the New
bad.
York Shit Post is just the New York Post.
Exactly.
Man. Is that the magazine, or I should say when it was like an actual publication, it would have like the stupid headlines, but it'd be like a picture of like a hot babe on the lower left corner or something ridiculous like that every issue?
It's Playboy.
Okay. It is the New York Post then too.
I don't actually know.
And you can masturbate to either one.
True.
You know what? Free country, man. Oh my god. I'm going to share this in the chat, guys. I'm enjoying... Okay, you know what? I take it back. New York Post is super cool again. This is just for the people in the chat. I'll describe it, though, too, which is just...
Patreon.com/ThoughtCops if you want to see the link.
Yeah, this is how I'm selling it for you guys. It's a New York Post of one of their covers, and it just says Darth Vader, and it's good old GBN in a Darth Vader outfit.
Is this real?
It is real.
Jesus Christ.
And it says Supreme Bias is Ruth Blast Trump. Get him, girl. Yes, queen.
This is like peak neolib shit.
Yeah. The notorious RBG, and she like votes the wrong way on all the fucking bills. Yeah. Everybody's all concerned about, oh, what about the courts? And it's like, the courts are fucked, man. We're all fucked. I don't want to get any more into it. I'm boring myself.
So apparently the N-word was only worth 8 points.
But you get the triple word score, and if you attach it to another word, that could be a lot of points.
Could be. You're making a good point. Should I Google what is the highest scoring racial word
Any
in Scrabble?
slur, yeah.
Well, right now, none of them. So,
Well,
good point.
Hey, listen, boys. Let's not throw out our games. We got strategies in place for a reason. This is gonna upend all of that. You know, I'm not saying I use those words, but they are part of my strategy. If I get a handful of letters, and
Well, and again, this is for like people who play Scrabble professionally, which I can't imagine is that large of a group of people, because it's banned from the
now that we're
official
talking
list.
about it, this might actually be an issue, because now I'm imagining the people playing Scrabble in professional setting are older white women, so this might have just made the game harder for them.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh man, parody is just real life at this point.
How come they said I can't play the N-word, but they kept Karen in here? How come I can play Karen? This is racist against me.
Awfully charitable of you to assume they would say N-word.
I mean,
Yeah, they're just going full
I wouldn't
blazing.
say it just to make an example.
Say it, coward.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not a very good impression then. Just kidding. So
How do you like
so
that?
yeah, I guess the toy company Hasbro, who is the one who publishes Scrabble, was behind it too. They want to make it clear that slurs are not permissible.
Finally, we are saved.
Do kids play Scrabble?
I remember playing Scrabble like at the age of like 8 or 9 with my parents, because I had a bunch of friggin' nerdy ass parents.
I get halfway through any Scrabble game and I get so fucking bored, and I put it away. I just don't play it
I
anymore.
think Scrabble can be fun. I think for sure absolute boring dog shit games will always go to like both Monopoly and then Risk. Like Risk always seems like a cool, fun idea, but it always goes way too long and everyone hates each other by the end of it. I've never had a good Risk game in my life.
It goes way too long, and then like, depending on how many people are playing, then it's just 2 people that are just moving their fucking figures around while everybody else sits there and goes, come on, the game ended like 5 hours ago. Can we do something else?
Freaking let me get online and play Apex Legends already. Come on, dude. Oh, man. I can't stop thinking about Darth Vader now. I'm going to start saying that whenever I hear him. He's like, oh, you mean Darth Vader?
So what should we do for the punishment? Because I think like those words have to be replaced. I got one. They should go through the database of Thought Cop's Word of the Weeks and just put those in there. I want to see a new edition of Scrabble where you can get 20 points for the word himbo.
Yeah, no, that's good. Like all the meme words and like the weird internetisms, those should all be allowed in.
I'm still waiting for my himbo pills to arrive in the mail, guys. It still haven't come in.
Oh, the quarantine is probably going to take a week or two, so.
It fucking sucks.
Grant, you want to do any more stories? Or
what time are we at?
We are at about an hour, little less.
We could do the Jimmy John's bread noose thing, but it's kind of depressing to me, and I kind of don't.
Let's not. Yeah,
let's
not.
Jimmy John's, no matter what time of day, year, whatever time frame of history we're in, is always doing the shittiest thing. It truly amazes me.
There's no good sandwich places, like Subway has that pedophile. Jimmy John's has Jimmy John, who was fucking a dolphin or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Is Potbelly's good? I don't know. I feel like Potbelly's hasn't done any stupid shit
that we know of yet.
Yeah, good point.
So let's move right along to something nice, something cool. Key to the city, the Thought Cop's key to the city. We like to give it to something good for once. My Thought Cop's key to the city this week goes to Casket King 00. I'm going to link you the video here real quick. Hold on. Put it in the podcast chat.
Ooh, I'm already liking this.
Hey, Edward Carr, you just got breaded.
What the fuck?
It's almost a SpongeBob laugh, but it turns into like something more frightening. Like if you were to wound a large mammal that you'd never seen before or that ever been identified.
So if you guys want to go to his profile and go to the videos,
he is a large mammal that I haven't seen before. So you're technically right.
Just go ahead and scroll through his uploads.
Oh man, it's a lot.
So he pretty much just opens Pokemon cards and then breads people.
What the fuck?
If you couldn't figure out from the video, he just is.
He's been doing this for a long time. One of his first videos is from 7 years ago, and it's titled "You Just Got Breaded."
So he has a little piece of bread and he hits the camera with it, and you can.
I could never commit to this for that long.
And I thought I'd already seen enough bread tube, guys.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa!
I guess you could.
Mitchell?
It's sort of like Cameo. I guess you could get your friends breaded.
Except he pays you money to do it.
Yeah.
Let me bread your friends. I'll pay you money.
M60, you just got breaded. I want to see how this goes.
Probably goes exactly how you think it's going to go.
Oh my god, he somehow loses more emotion the more further I go back. Oh man.
Anyway, that's just my key to the city this week. Brandon, what's yours?
I mean, I'm gonna go, and I'm going full circle, baby. Go to bigdogs.com and look at some of the new t-shirts they got. Get yourself a good one. I'm really, I don't know why I'm pushing it so hard, but both their Instagram's been great, but literally they just have a t-shirt right now that says, "Now that's a big dog," and it's an airplane flying above a giant dog.
Yeah, someone in the chat here posted one called Sponge Dog. It says, welcome to Barkini Bottom.
It's pretty good.
There's Mr. Crabbones, Squid Wag, Pup Trick, Harry. I mean, you can pretty much you get the possibilities are seemingly limitless.
They also put out a t-shirt. Yeah, they put a t-shirt out for Pride Month, which is just a bunch of big dog images under a giant rainbow, and it really brings me joy whenever I look at it.
He just posted another good one here, Evolution, which is man's evolution into big dog.
Oh man, we've all been there before.
God, some of the middle ones are terrifying. It's like Animorphs.
Hell yeah.
He's just like squatting with a tail coming out of his ass, like slowly. Anyway, you can buy that shirt at bigdogs.com. Grant, what's your key to the city?
Speaking of BreadTube, my key to the city this week goes to the channel Some More News with, I think his name's Cody Johnson. He made a video called How to Pretend Systemic Racism Doesn't Exist, and he goes through all the... I hate to bring up like the fucking political shit all the time. I really try not to, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, this is... our show, so fuck it. But check that. If that sounds like a thing that would interest you, check it out. It's his channel is it's pretty good. There's some good videos on there that are somewhat insightful and comedic. And that's a good one, because that's one of those sentiments that I keep seeing thrown out there that like, oh, there's no such thing as systemic racism. It's just we're all equal now, and you just got to deal with the fact that you're shitty with money, black people. And it's like, well, no, there's a whole history of all this shit, and he does a very good job of like explaining all of that and stuff. And I don't know, check it out. Key to the city.
I think it's good to do that, and like to put my irony aside for at least 1 minute during this whole episode is. Like, so many people I've seen, especially being more left and I'd say socialistic in my views, a lot of my friends are the same way, and I just see them yelling at people about this and not, like, trying to actually share links to informative stuff like that.
Right.
So next time, like, try to have a discussion, link them that, or, like, tell them on Netflix you could watch The 13th, or that's on YouTube for free, and they could understand why both black people are oppressed in this country constantly, and also why prisons are going to be the next big thing we have to push back against after police brutality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go read a fucking book like Between the World and Me. Like, just educate yourself and have better discussions with people. Don't be like, oh, you fucking idiot, you don't understand systematic racism is real.
Right.
Like, no, a lot of people in our society don't know that because they were never educated on it. So be a better person and have that conversation, and don't be an asshole about it.
Right. I actually did have a I wouldn't say argument, but a discussion about systemic racism on Twitter kind of a while ago. And I brought up a lot of points that he brings up in the video, like about zip code being tied to your schooling system, and how that's unfair because if you live in a poorer area, you know, especially in an area that's like mostly minority and stuff like that, like if you live in a poorer area, you're going to have worse schools because they're not funded compared to other areas that are better funded because they're richer and their property taxes are higher and they have more money to fund schools and stuff like that. And like, why shouldn't we just abolish that and just make it a statewide tax or a national tax? And it didn't go as well as just like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. You get people bringing up the fucking school choice stuff and stuff like that. Like, you know, and that it's not a conversation I want to have on the show right now, but it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can present evidence, but it doesn't necessarily mean people are always going to accept it, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's the second step of like, if you have a good discussion and you can have clear evidence you can show that's not like from a freaking conspiracy website.
Right.
And people don't want to listen, then definitely you can tell those people to fuck off for sure. So
oh, yeah.
Then,
hey
have
guys,
some fun.
can we get to something important for a sec?
I guess.
Yeah.
This week's Thought Cops word of the week is cottagecore.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you.
Cottagecore, stemming from online movements including grandma core, farm core, goblin core, and fairy core, is an internet aesthetic which celebrates a return to traditional forms of craft such as foraging, baking, and pottery. So yeah, no one can just be normal or be themselves anymore. It has to all be about some kind of brand.
I like that our
Cottagecore.
brains have become so rotted that we literally need to brand anything we do, and we can't just be like, this is something I enjoy doing. like
I enjoy knitting. It's like, no, I have an identity.
Yeah, it's like, oh, knitting, that is a subset of grandma core and a light fairy core. This is
It's like,
fucking stupid.
how long
dude.
before we call breathing just like a pro error? Just like, oh, dude, all about pro air, huh? Just fucking
I'm an
breathing
error.
over there? Yeah. Oh man, this is stupid. I fucking hate it already.
So before we get to our last segment on the show, the voicemails from you, the listeners. Brandon Kirkman, where can we find all your lovely, wonderful content on the World Wide Web?
You know, it's the easiest one to do. Still good old twitter.com. Follow me at Kirkman Brandon, spelled like you think it is. KIRKMANBRANDON. If you spell Brendan or Brandon, just what are you doing?
You just got
You
your
don't
name
even
wrong?
know your
What
own
are you
name,
doing, man. Hey, I know my. Don't do this to me. Fun fact: my brother pronounces my name Brendan, and to this day refuses to pronounce it Brandon. I don't know.
Have
why.
you corrected him?
I've corrected him since I can remember. So
That's hilarious.
it's looking back now, it is probably the ultimate power move he's had over me so many
Yeah,
years now.
he's out alpha'd you.
Yeah, but yeah, follow me at Kirkman Brandon. Check out Machine Culture. You can just type that in, I'll bring it up. Or Desk and Dayjobs. We're the only one like that'll come up in search if you want a good live play D&D podcast to listen to. So,
Oh yeah, a lot of great content here. I know everybody's kind of bored with the quarantine, so if you're looking for a new podcast, check it out.
yeah, and I forgot too. I also do art, so I've been doing a lot of fun, cool commissions lately too. So if you like what you see,
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Actually, we have, this is a nice little plug for us.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Thought Cops Teespring store, which is, believe it is. So if you go to teespring.com/stores/thoughtcops, we have some merch on there. I know I haven't been promoting it for a while because I feel like it's kind of got a bad optics to promote that right now. But anyway, if you really want something, Brandon has a design he drew for us that's awesome. It's the Minecraft Defense t-shirt. It's a iconic scene from the Akira manga, and it's
Beautiful.
me and Grant. Yeah, it says Thought Cops on it. You got the squirt gun. It's awesome.
I'll say it's a good T-shirt.
It is a good t-shirt.
If you want to leave your own voicemail, give us a call, 312-788-7361. Or you can send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com.
Hit it.
Now I'm talking about, you feel me, not me. Hey, Thought Cops, it's your granddad, Firecloud.
It did.
I'm gonna take it back to the year 2009. MW2 had just dropped, and after around 3 months, I got to pick it up. And, I started playing online with all my 12-year-old friends. I was 12 years old, mind you.
All right.
So
Seems
Thank you
I
for
would
clarifying.
rage because I wasn't I've never been particularly good at first-person shooters, especially that young. So I fucking suck, dude, and I would get wrecked 24/7. There would be times where I would just get no kills for games and games on end, and I would rage and I would lose my fucking mind. And you know how it was in the 2008, 2010 era? Everything was on the table when it came to talking trash. And your boy thought no different. I was offensive to no end. You know, I was a squeaker back then, so that shit was... What? You know, I got made fun of for that. I just want to ask you guys, do you remember from a time when you were younger that you might have had like a rage where you just lost your mind for maybe weeks on end, that it just happened all the time? Let me know. Thanks a lot.
I think squeaker is a term he's using for like when your voice cracks. And I gotta say, that's cute. That's really cute.
Oh, he brought that up in a different voicemail.
Yeah.
Seems to be pretty hung up on that. Whole voice crack.
Also, I've never gotten that angry at a video game where I've like ever thrown a controller or called somebody something very mean. So
yeah, I mean, I lent a copy of Beautiful Joe to one of my friends, and I went to his house the next day, and like there just was a GameCube controller that was like through his glass table.
I mean, Beautiful Joe would do that though, but damn. Yeah, I think it's like anything in life. If I ever start getting really frustrated at a video game, I just stop playing and I'll go do something else usually. I never feel this need to like keep pushing it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I like when I was a lot younger, I'd get like really frustrated. I wouldn't fucking throw controllers through glass or anything like that, but I'd get really frustrated and shit. And yeah, especially now as an adult, I'm just like, it's not worth it. I'll literally go do anything else. I'll go wash dishes instead of be angry at a video game. Fuck it.
Yeah. Man, shout out to my brother again, Bill Kirkman. He also broke a controller or two while playing video games, getting mad at them as a kid.
Hey, Fuckhouse, it's Martin.
Hey, Martin.
Hey. I hope you're staying safe and sane. I also know you got Brandon Kirkman on tonight, so, I got to give a shout out to my boy. Hentai for life. Everyone loves Persona and Gundam. Hell yeah, Brandon, this one for you.
A wonderful tribute.
That is beautiful, man.
All right,
you know what?
Good now.
You too, Martin. Thank you.
Well, I love you, Martin. You're such a good buddy. And also, I am just so easily boiled down to like, he likes Persona and Gundam, which is actually true to describe me as a person. I've watched almost every Gundam series during this shutdown, so it's
you've been watching a lot. Yeah, you've been building some Gundams too, right?
Oh boy, listen, if you guys want to talk about Gunpla for like 4 or 5 hours and just upcoming model kits I'm hoping they make, classic ones I want to get, I'm down for it, man. It is honestly a very therapeutic and fun thing to do, but it's also very embarrassing, especially when I have to ask my partner, like, hey, do we have shelf space for another little cool robot I built? And she says, no, of course not. Please stop this.
I mean, to be fair, throughout all of this quarantine, I don't think anything's embarrassing anymore. I think anything anybody could do to like keep their sanity, whatever hobby or discipline or like whatever the fuck it was, if it's like painting little figurines and shit or getting really into like a certain game, like fuck it, do it. Like we all did it. Nothing to be embarrassed of. Fuck it.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that. Plus, it's probably taken off so many levels of stress during this whole time for me. It is honestly very therapeutic. Yeah. So it feels good. Feels good.
Wee woo, wee woo. Hey, it's the Beta Bitch Police. Calling all forces on Brandon Kirkman, Grant Mooney, Kevin Pishpat, Polish name. You guys are fucking... you guys you suck.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. It's truly an honor. You don't have to be creative with the voicemail to make it really funny. That's my favorite thing. Like, just somebody calling up anything and saying you suck at the end of it is still endlessly entertaining to me.
I'll get people constantly will like DM me on whatever Twitter or whatever platform. They'll be like, yeah, I wanted to leave a voicemail, but I'm nervous. And it's like, about what? Like,
the bar is so low.
Yeah. You just heard the bar. It was right there.
Hey, Thought Cops, I have Netrunner here. And this week, my 2 minutes of hate is online dating. You spend all this time, first off, just trying to match with somebody. And then when you do, you talk with them for a while. And maybe you guys decide to meet up for a date. You know, assuming you chat back and forth and then you ask them out and they don't just straight up ghost you at that point. but then you got to try to carve out some time to meet up, and you don't want to waste like a Friday or a Saturday on it. So maybe like Sunday at best. And if their schedule isn't steady, like I work Monday through Friday, pretty set hours. So if they don't, then they're trying to meet up on like a Tuesday afternoon, and it's like, I don't have Tuesday off.
Disgusting.
How about Tuesday afternoon or early evening?
Unacceptable.
But they're doing something else in the day if they can't meet up for a date, so they don't want to do that in the evening, and they're tired after work, so they don't want to meet up on a day they work. So you're just left with like, okay, cool, talk to you never, I guess. Anyway, keep up the good work, guys. Thanks for doing the show. And Brandon, thanks for doing your show, Desks and Dayjobs. I love it.
Oh.
Have a great week, guys. Sorry if this sounds weird. I'm only wearing a towel.
What the?
Is that why you think it sounds weird?
I'm the opposite. I like getting those details. That makes it juicy, man. That's good. Also, yeah, thanks for the shout out. I know he retweets a lot of our episodes and always saying nice things. It's good.
Great. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Solid.
I
don't have a lot of those people anymore.
I've never done the online dating thing, and everybody that I know that said anything about it makes it sound like the most painful process, and it's always bad, and I've heard no good stories, and it's always bad, and it hurts my head. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it, because the story is like the voicemail he just left. I'm like, yeah, that sounds terrible. I would never do that.
I mean, like, where are people meeting up now?
I don't know.
Oxygen bars?
I mean, it's like, it's weird. It's weird out there, guys.
People are just meeting at like podcast group meetups, like the fucking Doughboy fans finding their Doughboy and
finding their Dough girls.
That's better than Doughboy yet.
Didn't I think Martin was saying at some point during the quarantine he matched with a girl on Tinder and they would go to each other's Animal Crossing villages?
Yeah, it was pretty cute. I feel like it's online dating is the same as real dating. It all sucks no matter how you go about it and do it. Like it's a reflection of humanity.
Yeah, that's like just why I don't want to do it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't need this. I don't need the frustration in my life. Who cares?
Let's hit the next one here.
Hey, bitch cops. You know, anime is good and you're all bad idiots, and I'm in my car and somebody pulled out. Okay.
Before we begin, though, this person tried calling several times because they had the Thought Cops Gmail open, and I didn't realize we could actually answer the voicemail calls, but apparently you can. So I answered it, and I was like, hello? And she just hung up.
That is frightening. That is the most scary thing that could ever happen, I feel like, is calling something that's supposed to be a voicemail line and getting an actual human being.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, bitches. Your Brandon Kirkman is on the show today.
Yes.
So, we did this yesterday when we recorded, but Fuck, Marry, Kill, Jurassic Park edition, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, Laura Dern. So yeah.
It was really fun. Yeah, toilet. Toilets are funny, man.
They are funny. What a strange device that we've invented.
I love that, like, we just made a white base for us to put all of our turds and then go to a magical land to never be seen again. Maybe J.K. Rowling was right. There is some magic to us using the bathroom, and I'm the idiot.
You know, the funny thing is the guy who invented the toilet was Thomas Crapper.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true. Yeah, his name was actually Thomas Big Turd.
Fucking got you.
Fucking gotcha journalism right
Moron.
There. I guess the Wikipedia is wrong here.
I'll repeat. This is like a good back-to-back, so if you listen to Podzooky, you'll see all of our discussion. But I'll go with what I said originally, which is fuck Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park because he's like sexy, but he's completely a fuckboy. He ain't no good. Marry Laura Dern because it's fucking Laura Dern, man. Like that's the eye on the prize, buddy. And then kill Sam Neill, of course. Just another boring white dude. Nobody needs that. We're good.
I agree with the kill. I would swap that. I fuck Laura Dern.
I mean, if you marry her, I would play the cards right.
Well, so it's just, is the fuck just a one-time thing?
The fuck's like, it depends. This is like a whole philosophy of the game itself, of how you interpret it. Like, some people keep it sacred, where like fuck means only intercourse, and Mary's like you care and protect for that person. But I'm going with the whole word and ideology of it being a real marriage.
All right, so yeah, no, then if that's it's almost like the trolley problem of like, well, this and this and this, and if this was this, but yeah, no, I think your answer is adequate then in that regard. I would also do exactly what you said.
I agree.
We solved racism, guys. We did it.
We did it.
Woo!
On that note, Brandon, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. This was really fun, even during quarantine. I originally was like, can we do this remote even though we're all in Chicago? And then like the day afterwards, I read about there being like 3 million cases confirmed in the United States. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with this decision.
Yeah.
It's scary. I'm sorry, guys. It's
Shit
scary.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Not so great, but you know, we got to do
it. It's the price we pay for having the best healthcare system in the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wish I had like a funny retort to that, but I just got nothing.
Yeah, it existed.
I'm just yes-anding it because I don't really.
R.I.P.I.O.
Yeah, I can't conjure up the anger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you wanna leave us a voicemail of your own, like I said, give us a call. Don't be scared. Don't be DMing Grant. Give us a call, 312-788-7361, or an audio file, thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Write us an iTunes review. Tell your friends. It'll help us out. That's why we're here. See you next time.
Bye. Keep it crispy.